Hi, I'm Mr. Trev Butt, and this is the internet. Go ahead, have a bite. This is the internet, an intricate web of all the information in the entire world. Every movie, television show, music, every bit of information exists on the internet in some form, and mostly for free. There's also a realm of conspiracy theories, cat videos, your grandmother's recipes, social media, and all the other things in between. And within that intricate web are streaming platforms where millions gather to binge watch their favorite shows and movies. But amidst all of the content, there exists a hidden gem tucked away in the realms of one of these streaming platforms. Obviously, you've read the title, so you know I'm going to be talking about Roku City. So if you don't know, Roku is like the first streaming device, basically. It came out in 2008. It was just a way to transform your regular TV into a smart TV. It was super accessible, like I think it was like $20-ish, and all you needed was a power cord and an HDMI cable to hook up to your TV, and that was it. Suddenly your TV could watch Netflix, it could watch YouTube, it could do other things on the internet. I believe there was like a browser built in that wasn't really the best, but anyway, it basically turned your TV into a streaming capable device. At that time, you had Netflix and Hulu, and I don't even know if Prime TV was out yet, but you had that, and there was even like a Roku channel that had old like movies and shows and stuff that you could watch. The unique thing about Roku is a little screensaver known as Roku City. I assumed that everybody had kind of known what Roku City was, although I asked my wife about it and she had no idea what Roku City was and I had to explain it. But it was this super cool like virtual metropolis that just like side scrolled across your TV. Went idle for a while, the screensaver came on, and it was a super cool city that changed with the seasons, and it just sort of like floated by. It had this like vaporwave mixed with sort of like 8-bit side scrolling kind of things with like little hidden Easter eggs and stuff within the city. For a while I thought like it was kind of like more niche, like I didn't really think that a lot of people knew about it. A few years back I saw a Roku City background on a TV behind Ryan Trahan, and then most recently I saw it on Brittany Broski's podcast where her guest mentioned like knowing people in Roku City.
And so I feel very fortunate that like I've got a beautiful friend group out here. I know you feel the same. Well, you've got friends in every fucking city on earth, even Roku City.
Stop
which
it.
we were talking about earlier.
I'm connected in Roku City.
Roku City? Shit's going down.
If you need something in Roku City, I know a guy.
So as we take a closer look at what makes Roku City truly unique, I feel like there's this sort of, to me, it's like an undeniable connection to the vaporwave aesthetic. And for those unfamiliar, vaporwave is like a genre of music and art, and it's categorized by references to 80s and 90s culture combined with like surreal imagery and like glitchy sort of visuals. They had a lot of like marble like busts on like, you know, throughout the imagery and things like that. I think the most common and like well-known piece of vaporwave music is Florrale Shot by Macintosh Plus. And if you like look at some of the comments of this video, for example, it says, "Now we're genuinely nostalgic for a music genre designed to exhume false nostalgia," which I think that's part of, I mean, that's definitely like a part of the vaporwave aesthetic, is that it feels kind of like nostalgic. It has this like, it kind of feels like the 90s, and in many ways I feel like Roku City sort of embodies the essence of vaporwave, and that it feels like very nostalgic for those of us who, you know, grew up with the side-scrolling video games and who grew up with like these neon colors and these sort of like weird landscapes in imagery and music, and like our like freaking binders and things like that in school. Like the folders we got were covered in like this like checkered pattern mixed, and it was like warped into like a rainbow and it had all these different things. When you look at like Roku City and you see it's like neon lit skyscrapers and the pastel colored landscapes and like everything from the architecture to the signage feels like kind of like a loving homage to the retro futuristic aesthetic that Vaporwave is or was known for. And again, I feel like it attracts so many of us that are in that age range. We grew up with those things, and Roku City feels like, again, like an homage to that sort of aesthetic. So the Roku City first emerged as a screensaver with the Roku streaming platform. As a digital oasis, it was a screensaver. So it's just provide users with a visually pleasing background while they peruse through their favorite shows and movies. But obviously with the colors, the bustling street, and like the eclectic architecture, again, blending all of the old and new, the things I just mentioned about Vaporwave, like it's like clear how it could like capture a lot of people and turn into like their aesthetic in a way, right? If you're looking at bedroom aesthetics and like now the TikTok aesthetics and sort of the bright lights and things like that, and people really turning their bedroom into this like decorated space for everybody to see, everybody on the internet to see it, that Roku City like screensaver is the perfect like background image or like background piece to go in your bedroom or your office or whatever. And so as the Roku City started finding its way into the backdrops of videos and also just most of our screensavers for our TV, it sort of became its own thing. Like it started, like lore started growing around it, and there was people making like fan art and trying to recreate these type of things. And even if you look on YouTube for those type of screensavers, there are a lot more. There's like the Roku screensavers that you can actually like just put on your TV that Roku themselves have put on YouTube. And then there's also people who are creating like their own. There's even videos that show what all the Easter eggs are. Roku's journey to being a meme started innocently enough, you know, kind of how all things are. There's just one person who makes a video or like shares a picture of something, and then soon everybody else realizes that they've never had a unique experience ever, because then every single person who's experienced this shares it, and you quickly realize that we all kind of feel the same way about a lot of stuff. Thinking about Roku City becoming a meme, I don't think it really like hit its stride until like the 2020s. Even though it was created in 2008 by an artist named Kyle Jones, who is the graphics art director at Pixar, it really didn't make its stride until the 2020s when, and I guess that also kind of goes along with TikTok, right? Because before, like, you know, we definitely had YouTubers with like aesthetic backgrounds and offices and bedrooms or whatever, but it didn't really seem like it reached the mass audience until TikTok really started picking up, especially during like the pandemic, and people were spending obviously more time at home, and they were spending more time in their bedrooms. So they were decorating their bedrooms, they were creating content in their bedrooms, they were making videos. And then it felt like after that, like creating some kind of aesthetic in your room or with your videos became very important. And then people started making videos about buying a home in Roku City, or like waking up in the middle of the night, you know, and you left your TV on and Roku City is your screensaver. So that's sort of like how it became a meme, right? Like it became like people were talking about buying homes in Roku City and living there. And it also, like, I think a bit of it is like the absurdity of it, right? It's like this virtual city that exists solely within a streaming platform. Like you have to have a Roku to see the background. Obviously now it's on YouTube and you could just play it, but before that it was like this sort of weird thing that, again, I felt like I didn't have this shared experience with anybody. And then of course you find out that there's no such thing as a unique experience, because all of us have experienced something. If you've experienced something, there's a pretty good chance that at least 10,000 other people have experienced it. And this screensaver that's inside this streaming platform that you have to have on the actual streaming box itself, there's like a whole fictional lore and culture built inside of this. And again, I think that absurdity makes it like is what makes things like that sort of pop off and become even more popular, because again, it's like so niche in a way, and it makes you feel like you're really a part of something if you can share the lore of Roku City with somebody else who also lives in Roku City. So in the midst of like the obsession with Roku City, there's an interesting parallel between Roku City and like the resurgence of like desktop screensavers. Desktop screensavers used to be such a big thing because when you had old CRT screens, you had to have something constantly moving so you wouldn't get the like phantom image like burned in, right? Obviously when like LCD screens came about, that was not really an issue. Like I can't think of the last time that I set my computer to have a screensaver. Usually I just put it to sleep and that's it, or maybe a clock like shows up, but that's like kind of it. Like we don't have the like fish swimming across the screen or the maze or like the tubes or anything else like that. Maybe that's also a part of what draws us who grew up with those things. Like what's drawing us so much to Roku City is that it's kind of like those screensavers that we used to have on our computers. Like remember when computer lab was a thing in school and you would walk in and everybody's like, you would watch the maze or watch the tubes or whatever it was, super interested in the maze and where things were going to go before you like wiggled your mouse and like woke up your computer, right? So the resurgence of screensavers, I mean, can kind of be seen as our reaction to our increasingly digital lives. Like in a world where we're constantly bombarded with notifications and distractions, like screensavers offer a moment of, I don't know, quiet and calm, a chance to pause, appreciate something else. I guess it's also kind of sad because screensavers, it's kind of like we're only seeing nature and beauty and cool worlds and stuff like that, or like cool architecture and landscape on the computer screen and not actually in real life. With Roku City is also a great way to advertise for different shows and movies without it being like annoying. I don't know if you've ever used an Amazon Fire Stick or Fire TV, but theirs are like too in your face. They make it difficult for you to actually be able to find what you were watching previously, or just watch what you were watching, or like, you know, or just like find new things that aren't like them trying to make you like subscribe to a new streaming service or whatever. And there's always just like whatever Prime has going on at that point is like the biggest thing, and you have to like scroll down and it like, I think it has purposeful like latency where like you press like down to scroll down on the remote and it takes a few seconds before it finally like scrolls up and like gets rid of like the big Prime TV like television show advertisement. That's super annoying because I already bought the thing. I just want to like watch the things without having to like deal with ads again. I'm already paying for these things, so why am I still having to get ads? Isn't that kind of crazy? Back in the day, parents probably paid like $250 a month for cable, and you'd watch like 4 channels, and you spent half your day watching commercials and ads. Like, you're already paying for the thing. Why did you have to watch ads? But the Roku City screensaver, background, whatever, puts advertisements like as billboards and things like that in the screensaver in the towns. And there's even like a Roku movie theater in the town that is showing like what's playing on the Roku channel. They've like creatively advertised to you, so like not only are you seeing what is actually playing without it like interrupting your like flow of watching or enjoying or binging or whatever, because again, it's a background. You might just be like getting ready for work or school or whatever, and like this is just on your TV, and you are kind of like seeing these advertisements in a way that it's not interrupting like your day or how you watch or enjoy entertainment. I think it's like a really smart way to keep people engaged with the what you're watching and the products. And yeah, it's just like a really smart way to do it. We're so used to like in your face advertisement that we ignore a lot of it, and you can easily scroll past like an advertisement or like skip an ad or whatever. But when it's kind of like fitting in nicely, like billboards are not like that in your face, like you kind of just drive by them, right? So like in the Roku realm in Roku City, you have these like slow moving billboards, and you're like, oh, that's like kind of like real life. It's not this like dystopian wasteland of advertisement. And that's another opportunity for other streaming platforms to kind of like take notice. Like, could you sell advertisements within your digital city? Like if there was like Netflix City or Hulu City, could you sell digital advertisements within that world? Like it's just like a scrolling billboard. Like could you sell advertisements in there to make like to increase profits or increase revenue or whatever without like upping, how much you charge, or without putting more advertisements in between the actual shows. Hulu drives me absolute crazy. Like when I'm trying to watch Dragon Ball, you have to, you watch the intro, and the intro is like 4 minutes, and then you have to watch a bunch of commercials before you finally start watching the show. And it's like, you can't skip that. You're gonna have to watch it. But what if they just like skip that first advertisement? Because within Hulu City, I was able to like, see the advertisement for Glade Power Synth plugin, whatever that is, like instead of having to like watch it. I think that would be interesting. I feel like by doing that, like people are also like, more people would rather buy a Roku than a Fire Stick or an Apple TV or like whatever else is out there, because like that's kind of cool. Like you want to have like the Roku City aesthetic. You want to have that background on your TV when you're not watching it. You want to find the Easter eggs that are in it. You want to have like something to like talk about, with your friends who are also into that, or if you're on a subreddit where people are also into that. So it's a good opportunity for other streaming services like take notice and be like, maybe we could just like make a nice like environment for people where they might actually enjoy like using the streaming service, instead of making it an absolute just mind-numbing terrible experience, just painful, awful experience to try to like scroll through all the advertisements and the automatically like playing videos that are super loud that we're trying to get you to watch and pay for and buy this other platform, even though I'm already bought the box and I'm already paying for 4 services. I just want to watch what I want to watch. If you just had like a Roku City screensaver, that would be pretty cool. And it's that like basic like interaction that really keeps people like interested and invested in like the streaming service itself, instead of just like, again, just like this boring, like Netflix used to have a really nice like user experience, but everything plays automatically. It's like purposely trying to make you stay on like what they're currently like pitching, which I understand, like they need you to watch Love Island or whatever it's called because they paid for that and they need to make their money back. But like, I just want to watch Seinfeld, and I think you should leave over and over. And also the IT crowd, except they got rid of it. Despite its origins as just a simple screensaver within a streaming platform, like Roku City has managed to like captivate and capture the hearts and minds of internet users everywhere. I think I've like beat it to death, like how impactful it is. This simple screensaver has brought so much nostalgia, and it's created lore, and it's even like brought back memories of old screensavers back when they were, somewhat interesting and needed, but also it was a thing that was needed, but they took the time to create something really unique and interesting. And I feel like that's sort of like a lost art, since wallpapers and screensavers are not like needed to keep from destroying our displays. It's almost like there's not that much like time and effort put into them, right? But I do think with like the increase of like battle stations or like aesthetic offices and office spaces, like that memory of fun, aesthetically pleasing, interactive, simple like backgrounds and screensavers will become like a thing again. The impact on it on internet pop culture is crazy. Like it began as just like a simple screensaver that's turned into like this beloved icon of like internet culture and like lore and nostalgia and aesthetics and all these things. And yeah, it's just it's crazy to think about all the joy and creativity and community that just a screensaver has created. It has brought so many people together over this simple, silly little screensaver. What do you guys think? Do you feel like Roku City has had this big of an impact on your life or on your friend's life or on the internet's life? Or is it just me being a little hyperbolic for the sake of making my first video be about a hot topic right now? No, I truly believe that the Roku City is special, and it has this ability to like transcend this digital realm of being a screensaver into a whole new world for people to enjoy and engage in community. It's like Discord, but like less racist. Just kidding. I don't know if Discord is full of racists. That's what Roku City is to me. So anyway, thank you guys for taking this time with me, and I hope you enjoyed this first video. I'm Trevor, aka Mr. Trevbot, aka I had a really funny name that I was gonna say and I totally forgot. Thank you for joining me on this adventure through internet pop culture and the world of Roku City. Till next time, stay curious, stay creative, and